anti-Semitism was underground. Nobody on the surface speak about anti-Semitism. Everything is good. And if one brave man say, look, here, anti-Semitism, the answer will be, you're a liar. According to the law, in the Soviet Union, there is no anti-Semitism. But when the perestroika came, the people tried to speak openly, and what do you hear?
The ancient texts say that simultaneously different cockroaches and spiders and other things, disgusting things, appeared together with Jews.
Russian church teach that Yiddish people kill Christos, kill God.
Some people came to me and say that I'm a Jewish and I must be killed, and all Jewish people in Soviet Union must be killed.
There are 2 to 3 million Jews still living in the former Soviet Union. For them, the freedoms unleashed by Glasnost, by Gorbachev and Yeltsin have granted others the freedom to hate.
If each Russian will exterminate one Jew, then the Jewish problem will be solved.
With the Russian economy in decline, the Communist Party dissolved and the new democratic government in disfavor. With society in disarray, its citizens despairing of relief, Russians, free to be as angry as they are outspoken, are placing the blame for all their troubles squarely on their traditional scapegoats, the Jews. In this hostile atmosphere, organized hate groups are raising their angry voices above those of individual malcontents, frequently absorbing them into their ranks. The umbrella organization for these apostles of ill will is a movement known as Pomyat, and its sweeping effect has been a wave of collective hatred. This 50-year career officer created the KGB's counter-terrorist unit. His first response when asked about Pomyat:
I don't understand what group you are talking about. We have a very negative attitude towards Judaism, considering it a religion brought by Satan.
Pomyat incites Russians to defend themselves against Jews.
And so far, we are not being worried by Pomyat, because they are not threatening anybody directly.
This is a leaflet of one of the Panets groups. It is called Intifada in Soviet Union. So in this leaflet, Panets says that all Russians live on the occupied territories by Jews, and to carry guerrilla war by methods, by Palestinians' methods, by burning doors of Jewish flats, by writing on the walls down the Jews and so on.
The walls outside attorney Michael Rosenfeld's apartment were smeared with slurs. Callers threatened violence if he, his wife and daughter, also attorneys, didn't leave for Israel quickly. While they were trying to,
it was the night between 31st of March and 1st of April. Some unknown people, I am sure these are anti-Semites, set my flat to fire. And in this fire, my 23-year-old daughter was burned to death. There are 2 doors, and between them there was some incendiary liquid. So experts are working, investigating the cause of the fire, and they have concluded that it was arson. They didn't break the door, they injected the liquid. The granddaughter never asks about either her mother or the dog.
From a 16th century edict to convert or be drowned, to this day, Russia's Jews have been massacred by the Cossacks, pogromized with the militia's complicity, victimized at the hands of the secret police, and tortured by the terrorist arm of the Black Hundreds, who inspire Pomyat. bloodshed stemming from blood libels, Stalin's mass murders, Nazi atrocities.
Do you believe that 6 million Jews died during the war?
No.
Pamyat's charter is practically a verbatim version of the Nazi manifesto, bearing unconcealed malice toward Jews, but weapons like this concealed in their sleeves. Pamyat arms and trains its rank and file for the ultimate conflict with the forces of international capitalism and the children of Satan.
Our young people are well trained because there is healthy blood in their veins, not Jewish blood. Which nationality has more people, children who are abnormal and doomed to die? Look, the Aryans only get infected by AIDS, but the Jews die from it. Pornography, gay guys, all this comes from Jews. Only one religion in the world sleeps with animals, hence sodomy, and has sexual relations with their own children. Only Judaism. Every sexual perversion comes from the Jews.
Everyone.
Every perversion comes from the Jews. If you want my concrete opinion, I think that all their sins should be burned out with heated iron.
There are 62 signs to identify Jews. Don't you understand? The shape of the eyes, a little bit down. The shape of the nose, not the length, but the shape. The chin protruding. The behind is larger, it sticks up more. The walk of Charlie Chaplin. Even the smell of their sweat is different. I'm not an anti-Semite. I don't have any biological, physiological hatred or... I can drink vodka from one and the same glass with any Jew. I wouldn't have this vodka with a Negro.
And about this Pamyat, this is just chatting.
At this protracted chatting session conducted by Pamyat in a working-class suburb 1.5 hours outside of Moscow, the camera furtively observed the movement's strong grassroots appeal. Each new member is required to supply the names and addresses specifying hallway and doorway of at least 5 Jewish families. Those whose views differ are marked as Jews who have merely changed their family names to Russian ones. Pamyat sees hidden Jews everywhere.
What is anti-Semitism? It's aggressive mediocrity. So they could not explain to them why they're so unsuccessful. In personal life, in business, in arts. If you recognize that you are a mediocre person, it means what you are already not mediocre person.
For the Jew, there is no way to escape. It's the first principle the Jew can understand.
Nothing that Russians have ever been taught about Jews or themselves would make them feel, even today, that they owe anything to the Jews. A movement like Pamyat is an inevitable recurring symptom of a long-term national malady. The Russians' sad legacy is the freedom to hate.
It's like, you know, Russia traditionally was like a borscht. What's a borscht? Borscht is a mixture of different vegetables. If you take off just onion from borscht, it will be different soup. So if you take off Jewish people from this hot borscht, which we call Russia, it's not will be Russia. That's my opinion.